For many adults over 50, mornings begin with a quiet routine. Wake up, stretch a little, make coffee, read the news, or for the more active, go for a brisk walk or hop onto a treadmill. On paper, this sounds like a wonderful way to start the day. Movement is good, routine is good. But when joint pain keeps flaring despite healthy habits, medication, and careful eating, something isn't adding up. One hidden culprit lies in a seemingly beneficial habit that millions of seniors engage in every morning: light exercise or walking before warming up their joints properly. This daily habit, done with the best intentions, might actually be making arthritis, knee pain, and joint stiffness worse over time. The logic feels backward. Shouldn't movement help? The answer is yes, but only if your joints are ready for it. As we age, cartilage becomes thinner, synovial fluid decreases, and our joints, especially weight-bearing ones like knees, hips, and ankles, become less resilient to impact. Overnight, the body goes into a form of rest-induced stiffness. This is called morning joint gel phenomenon, where synovial fluid thickens during sleep and circulation to the joint slows. Jumping out of bed and walking briskly, even just around the house, before the joints have had time to loosen, can lead to microtrauma in already fragile joint surfaces. Imagine waking up and immediately pressing on a dry sponge. It's brittle, rigid, and easily torn, but soak it in water for a few minutes and it becomes pliable, ready for use. Your joints function in a similar way. This is not about discouraging movement. It's about understanding timing. When movement comes before activation and hydration of the joints, it stops being helpful and begins to accelerate wear. Many patients who complain about worsening arthritis despite daily walks are unknowingly stressing their joints before they're ready to support that activity. If you've ever noticed that your knees hurt more after walking early in the morning than after moving around in the afternoon, this may be the reason. And if you've blamed it solely on age, you're not alone. But there's something else at play, and the good news is, it's fixable. In the next section, we'll explore what exactly happens inside your joints during those first minutes of the day, and why skipping a simple 3-minute ritual may be costing you long-term mobility. When you wake up in the morning, your joints are in a temporary state of shutdown. Overnight, your body slows many processes to conserve energy. Blood flow decreases, synovial fluid thickens, and the natural lubrication your joints rely on becomes more gel-like, less mobile. Think of it as your joints being asleep right along with you. Now imagine stepping out of bed and immediately putting your full body weight on those unprepared knees or hips. Without gentle stimulation to reactivate circulation, the cartilage experiences concentrated pressure, especially if you're walking on hard surfaces like tile or hardwood. This is particularly risky for seniors whose cartilage is already thinner and more fragile due to age-related degeneration. Even if you feel stiff but power through it, thinking you're loosening up the body, you may be unknowingly causing micro-damage to the very structures you're trying to preserve. This isn't the same as the healthy kind of soreness after a good workout. It's a kind of repetitive trauma that accumulates over weeks, months, and years, leading to inflammation, swelling, and more rapid joint degeneration. Let's zoom in on what happens at the microscopic level. Cartilage doesn't have blood vessels of its own. It relies on the compression and decompression of movement to receive nutrients from the surrounding joint fluid. If you move too quickly before the fluid thins out and circulates, the cartilage ends up being compressed with inadequate protection, like running an engine with no oil. Add to that the possibility of low-grade chronic inflammation many older adults carry due to diet, stress, or autoimmune tendencies, and you've got a recipe for painful mornings that worsen over time. You might be wondering, but I stretch before I walk, doesn't that count? Here's the problem. Static stretching, like toe touches or holding your arms overhead, doesn't activate the kind of movement your joints need after hours of rest. What your joints need is dynamic, low-impact stimulation, movements that mimic the pumping action of walking but without full body weight and high pressure. We'll cover what that looks like in the next section. For now, it's important to understand, your pain isn't just from aging or bad knees. It's often from timing, doing the right thing, movement, at the wrong time, when your joints are still frozen from sleep. Once you shift that timing and prepare your body the right way, you may be surprised at how much stiffness, pain, and fatigue can be reduced, sometimes within days. So what should you do instead of jumping straight into your morning walk or daily chores? The answer lies in a short but powerful habit. a 3-minute joint activation sequence designed specifically for older adults with stiff or aching joints. This isn't a workout. It's not yoga. And it's definitely not about pushing through pain. It's about restarting your internal lubrication system slowly, gently, and effectively. Let's begin with something simple. Seated ankle pumps. While sitting on the edge of your bed or a chair, gently flex and point your toes up and down about 20 to 30 times. This encourages blood to flow back up through the legs and starts stimulating the synovial fluid in the ankles, knees, and hips. It's deceptively simple but incredibly powerful, especially if you tend to wake up with swelling or heaviness in your lower limbs. Next, try knee swings. Still seated, slowly extend one knee until your leg is straight, then bring it back down. Do this 10 to 15 times on each leg. This primes the knee joint without bearing weight on it. You're essentially mimicking walking motion, but in a safer, controlled environment, without the full force of gravity. Then stand up slowly and hold onto a countertop or sturdy chair for balance. Shift your weight gently from one foot to the other. These weight transfers activate the muscles around your hips, knees, and ankles. They also teach your brain that it's safe to move. Many seniors develop protective stiffness, not because their joints are damaged, but because their body is anticipating pain. Gentle movement can break that cycle. Finally, finish with shoulder rolls and gentle arm swings. While this may not seem related to knee or hip pain, the truth is your entire musculoskeletal system is connected. Improving circulation in the upper body helps awaken the nervous system and triggers a general sense of readiness throughout the body. Plus, shoulder stiffness can also contribute to poor posture, which puts even more pressure on your joints when walking. Altogether, this routine takes just 3 minutes. Yet it can completely change how your joints feel for the rest of the day. You may notice improved ease in your first steps, less cracking in your knees, and even better balance. This habit doesn't replace your walk or your regular exercise. It's the primer, the warm-up your aging joints absolutely need but never asked for. And best of all, it's simple enough to do anywhere, every day with zero equipment. It's a story I've heard hundreds of times in my clinic. Doctor, I've been taking glucosamine for years. I go to physical therapy. I even stopped running like you suggested. But my knees still ache, especially in the morning. Sound familiar? For many seniors, joint pain becomes a frustrating cycle. They follow the advice: eat well, take supplements, exercise more, reduce impact. And still, that sharp sting in the knee while walking to the bathroom or the dull throb after standing in the kitchen just won't go away. So what's missing? Often, the problem isn't the medication. It's when and how the body is being asked to perform. Even the best treatment can't protect a joint if the joint is being stressed in its most vulnerable state, right after waking, before circulation and lubrication have been restored. Think of it like this. You could put the finest engine oil in your car, but if you turn it on and drive off at full speed on a cold morning, damage still happens. The same principle applies to your joints. Supplements like collagen, glucosamine, or anti-inflammatory diets can help reduce damage, but they can't prevent it if you're triggering microtrauma each morning by skipping the warm-up. Physical therapy, too, is often performed once or twice a week, but the wear and tear happens every single day, especially during your first 30 minutes of movement in the morning. No amount of once-a-week stretching can undo the daily strain caused by poor timing and a rushed start. What's more, seniors are often told their pain is simply due to old age, leading many to accept discomfort as inevitable. This mindset creates a blind spot. Instead of adjusting small habits, we escalate medications or stop moving altogether, both of which can backfire. The truth is, the body, even at 60, 70, or 80, is far more adaptable than we think. But it needs to be treated with precision and patience. Small shifts in how you enter your day can have a huge impact on how your joints hold up over time. And this 3-minute joint priming routine fills a critical gap that most health plans, exercise programs, and prescriptions miss entirely. Many patients report a noticeable difference after just 1 week of consistent morning activation. Less stiffness, fewer painful steps, greater ease when transitioning from sitting to standing, and for some, reduced reliance on pain relievers altogether. In our final section, we'll bring it all together: how to integrate this morning habit with the rest of your wellness plan, avoid common mistakes, and make sure your joints feel better not just today, but for the next 10 or 20 years. By now, you've seen how a simple shift in your morning routine, just 3 mindful minutes before you walk, stand, or start your day, can radically change the way your joints feel and function. But the real key to lasting results isn't in doing it once or twice. It's in turning this into a non-negotiable habit, like brushing your teeth or making your morning coffee. Here's how to embed it into your lifestyle. First, anchor the habit. The easiest way to make a routine stick is to attach it to something you already do. For example, before you put on your slippers, before that first cup of tea, or while waiting for the kettle to boil. The goal is not to remember it, it's to make it automatic. Second, track how you feel. It may sound simple, but writing down one line a day, something like, less stiffness today, or knees felt better going downstairs, helps reinforce that this small act is working. Our brains crave proof, and once you start noticing change, motivation follows naturally. Third, adjust your expectations. This routine won't eliminate arthritis or reverse joint damage overnight. But it can reduce inflammation, improve mobility, and slow progression. And for many seniors, that's not just helpful, it's life-changing. Imagine being able to get up without dreading those first 10 steps, or walking through a grocery store without feeling like your joints are rusting in real time. Now, let's talk about what not to do. Don't push through pain during the warm-up. The goal isn't to force flexibility, but to restore function gently. Pain is not progress. It's a signal. Also, don't replace this with static stretching. You need movement, gentle, flowing, repetitive motion that mimics real life. Don't skip it just because you feel fine one day. Skipping warm-ups is like skipping sunscreen because it's cloudy. You may not see damage right away, but the effect builds silently over time. And finally, don't underestimate the power of consistency. Small actions done daily often outperform big actions done occasionally. This isn't about perfect form or a complicated workout. It's about honoring your body with a little kindness, especially during its most vulnerable minutes of the day. So, to recap, that morning stiffness and joint pain, it's not just age. It's your body asking for a better start, one that takes into account the slower fluidity, the thinner cartilage, the delicate balance of strength and rest that comes with a well-lived life. You deserve mornings that feel good. You deserve movement without fear. And now, you have the tools to make that happen. One gentle step at a time. Your joints have carried you this far. With just 3 minutes a day, you can help them carry you further, with less pain, more freedom, and a renewed sense of control over your aging body.